And it was this beautiful, long fitted cream dress with just red roses on it. And I just felt gorgeous. I really did feel lovely. And I was wearing it for weeks and weeks. And then someone said to me, that is utterly see-through from the back. We can all see your pants. And I just looked in the mirror and I was like, oh my God, literally. It's like I've just been going out naked for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Welcome to Off the Hanger, the fashion podcast where we dive deep into our guests' wardrobes, finding out their favourite fashion pieces and the stories behind them. This week's guest is the fabulous Bianca Best. Oh my goodness, if there was ever somebody to suffer with burnout, I think it would be Bianca. She's an author, a speaker, a mother of 4, no less, and an incredible entrepreneur and business owner. But her business really focuses on helping people get through burnout and just step into their best selves. I absolutely loved chatting with her. She's got a brilliant book that you should read. I'll link it all in the description below, but I really hope you enjoy this episode. Bianca, thank you so much for being a guest on Off the Hanger. It is lovely to see you in your gorgeous setup, I may add.
Thank you so much. I'm very proud of it.
Yep, loving the roses, loving the florals. It looks beautiful. Now, tell me a little bit about you and your business because, my gosh, you're a busy woman.
Well, thank you. I certainly am. I run a business called the Burnout Business, and I'm really intent on ensuring that women step into life and soar and succeed and ensure that they have a working world that's filled with graceful productivity. So my business is around coaching and working with organizations and individuals to ensure that they can have success with grace.
And I think if ever there was a prime candidate for somebody to be suffering burnout, it would be you. What with your burnout business, writing best-selling novels, having 4 children, it's all there. All the components of being a burnt out person are.
Well, I certainly was. I was.
Mastered it.
Exactly. I've mastered it and I haven't had a burnout since 2015. And so I've just bottled up the way I believe we can step into integrity and enjoy life, fill it with joy. And that's really what my work is all devoted to now.
And a lot of your work is about showing up as your best self. And I imagine that your wardrobe plays quite a big part of that.
It really does. It really does. And I'm a real believer in stepping into, your best self, as you've said, but making sure that you show up in a way where you feel wonderful. And I've always been quite obsessed with that since I went on my own hen weekend. And many years ago in my early 20s, and we were in Rome, and I was with a group of girlfriends. It was all the usual sort of drinking, naughty partiness. And we took loads of photos. And at that point, I hadn't really recognized how these photos last forever. And I'd woken up hungover and we were all by the Trevi Fountain. And I just looked like I'm in sort of pajama shorts and a top and I'm hanging. And I just had that photo. And when I got it back, and I just thought, I never want to look bad. However I feel, I want to make sure I just look wonderful and wear gorgeous clothes. And from that point on, in my early 20s, I've really made an effort to invest in a nice wardrobe that reflects how I feel.
Before that, what were you like? What were you like as a child? Did you have a really distinct vision of what you wanted to look like, or did you just go along with whatever you were given?
I was very inspired by the 80s power women and the shoulder pads. I went through a phase of shoulder pads, but when I was really little, it was just Cinderella, Disney princess. I just wanted floaty, pretty, gorgeous dresses.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's what I'm like now. You see, as a child, I was a real tomboy, but I think now I'm such a contrast to who I was growing up. It's completely different. Are you somebody who hangs on to things in your wardrobe? What would you say is the oldest piece you've got?
I've got something here that I will show you, and it's not even actually mine, it's my mother's. That's how old it is. It's from the 70s. So yes, I hang on to stuff. And thankfully, my body is still pretty much the same size. I can still fit into my school uniform, which is weird. I've still got that signed shirt when we left school. So yeah, I keep on to stuff that looks timeless, and if it retains its shape and structure and vibrancy. So this dress, I'll show you. This is a dress that was my mother's, and it's a true gorgeous 70s gown. And I will wear this for any fancy dress parties where we've got to go back to the 70s. But she actually used to wear this. Isn't it gorgeous?
I'd just be wearing that as a gorgeous summer dress. That is beautiful. I love the print. I love the angel sleeves. And then you've got the big fluted sleeve underneath there, that kind of double layer. What a stunning piece.
Isn't it amazing? I mean, the thing is, I can't really wear it as a summer dress because I know it's really, really old. But and it might fall apart. But yeah, isn't it gorgeous? And isn't it fashionable now?
It is so on trend now. That is such a beautiful piece. What an incredible thing that she's managed to keep and then be able to pass on to you.
Yeah, I loved her. She was a singer, so she was one of those really sort of glamorous 70s ladies. So yeah, she's got great wardrobe. I've got some hot pants as well, but I'm not showing you them.
Slightly different vibe.
Exactly.
What is the piece in your wardrobe that gets the most compliments?
Right. So this is one I bought last year. Last year was a big year. I turned 50, and this dress is the most twirly, floaty dress that I've ever owned. And I get compliments on this dress every time I wear it.
The yellow is giving Kate Hudson How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. You know that movie? I love that. That is so good.
Yeah, well, it's actually got so much fabric that when you twirl, it literally twirls around like no dress I've ever seen ever in my life. It's beautiful. Wolf and Badger.
And are you a real lover of colour?
Yes, I am. If it suits me, I think it can make such a statement. So yeah, absolutely adore this.
That is beautiful, and I love Wolf and Badger. It's just got so many incredible kind of unique brands that you don't really find anywhere else. I think it's a really great website to buy things from, especially when it is something that's a real special occasion piece.
Exactly. And this one comes in all sorts of different colours, and I might be tempted to get some more. It looks great.
Now, do you like to splurge on your wardrobe, or are you quite good?
I do splurge. If it's a special occasion or there's some kind of event, then yeah, I absolutely do splurge.
And what is the biggest splurge you've had? You obviously don't have to share how much it was, but what is the most expensive piece you've gone for?
I will show you this suit, and it's the most I've ever spent on anything in my life. And this is a hot pink trouser suit. And it's fitted, it's tailored, it's Italian couture. And I recently launched my show, the Big Impact Show, and was filming in the studio. And you can see this is sort of the flowers. The theme was this hot pink. And because the show is all about big impact, and I wanted a big impact suit, so I really hunted high and low to find a trouser suit, because the whole essence of the show is about epitomizing success with grace. So I wanted something that asserts power, but is also feminine and pink, but a hot pink, and not rather than a sort of soft floaty pink. So this was terrifying for me to actually buy. I was so scared because I've never really gone into the designer realm. I'm a fake handbag kind of girl. So this was like palpitations, but actually the result was it looked stunning, and I just love it. I love this suit, really love it.
I am a huge fan of a trouser suit. I think they're so versatile because you can wear them as separate. So I do feel you really maximize your money's worth out of them. But I think they just work for every occasion. Like lunch with the girls, suit and your trainers, dinner out, suit and a pair of heels, standing on stage doing a talk or doing something on TV, you put your suit on, you feel great. I love a suit.
I'd love to know from your perspective, how do you manage the heel situation? So that suit, I can only wear with high heels because of the length. So going out for lunch, I'd love to wear it out for lunch with trainers. But do you have different suits for different occasions,
So
different lengths?
depends on the style of trouser. I have a wide leg trouser suit that I love,
Yeah,
and it is the perfect length with heels because I always like all of my suits to be the right length for heels. But
yeah,
then what I do is if I'm going out and I want to wear it with my trainers, I
yeah.
turn it up and pin it. I just turn it up, put safety pins in it.
Really?
Yeah, so that I can just wear it with my trainers or some like flats or whatever it is, because I just want to get the most out of them.
I love that. I'm taking that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to order some safety pins, and that, yeah, then I can.
Yeah,
Then they really are versatile.
there are these really clever little magnetic clasp things that you can get. If it's literally just the back that's too long,
Yeah.
basically it's like a little magnet with a chain and then a magnet on the other side. And you put the magnet on the inside, chain it up so you just gather the fabric a little at the back, and then you
Mhm.
magnet them together, you stick them together, and
Yeah.
it creates this really interesting little gather in the back of the trousers without
Ooh.
damaging the fabric. But it looks cool as well. It's a really interesting kind of design
Oh,
detail.
oh,
You might get them on Amazon. I don't know what they're called. Yeah, we'd need to
oh,
search for them, but they are very clever.
best tip so far this year. Thank you. I love it. Love it.
What is the newest addition in your wardrobe?
So I have bought a beautiful dress, which I'll share a photo with you of this dress because unfortunately it's in the dry cleaners, but I bought it for my book launch recently and I wanted something that really marked this milestone moment because getting my book published, launching as a bestseller was a dream come true. I've had this dream since I was a little girl. So I bought this dress that feels like the most special dress I've worn other than a wedding dress actually. And it's a fitted sort of satin pink, a soft, dusty pink, and it's sort of crosses over, but it's got these beautiful blooms of roses actually structured as part of the dress. So it's like the dress itself is actually blooming and it's fitted and it just goes down to the knee and it's elegant and timeless. And I just adore it. So that's my latest edition, and I promise I'll send you a photo of it because it really is, it's so special.
It sounds breathtaking. It sounds absolutely gorgeous. And I think so tied in with you and your personality and your branding. And I think that's a really kind of interesting point of like, is it quite a conscious decision when you are buying clothes that it ties in with your branding, or do you just always go with your gut instinct of things you like, or in fact, are both things the same?
I am a real believer that when we step into our own integrity and we are our authentic true selves, life is more fun, it's easier, it's simpler, we have more energy. I have spent the past 13 years working in a corporate environment where I initially felt I had to put on a bit of a mask and I had to power dress and wear very staid business attire. And I slowly learned to take the mask off and to become more me and start walking into the boardroom in beautiful, elegant, flowery, floor length dresses with heels. And I started to really learn how I could assert power and leadership, but softly while wearing pink and wearing different fabrics. And that was an incredible learning experience for me. So when I shop, I really shop for the moment and based on who I am, and I won't compromise the outfit. I always want to be the most overdressed in whatever environment, whether it's a boardroom or a restaurant or on stage. I want to be the have the most stunning outfit. I'm happy and very comfortable with that.
See, as a fellow perpetually overdressed person, I
Good.
really resonate with that because that is also me. I always want to be the person that somebody goes, "Are you going somewhere else afterwards?" No, no, no. This is just what I decided to wear to Tesco today.
I had a boss who said to me once about 10 years ago when I was new to the corporate world, and I walked into the office one day and I was in this silk fitted, I say silk, satin, whatever it was, a structured cream fitted dress. I walked in and the CEO came over to me and he said, "You going to a wedding?" I was like, no, it's Monday, 8 a.m. No, but it got me noticed and I got promotion after promotion. And I think when you dress like you just project a different energy and you do get noticed.
Exactly. Be memorable. Be memorable. I regularly get the "Are you going to a wedding?" question, and that kind of it makes me really laugh because some of the moments I've had it's just ridiculous. Like I'd gone to see my sister who lives in Yorkshire still,
Yeah.
and we'd gone to a farm shop and we'd taken the kids to this like soft play, and then we'd been in this farm shop, and it was the depths of winter, and obviously the depths of winter in Yorkshire is really cold, brutally cold. So I had jeans on and I had trainers on, but then I had a massive faux fur coat, right?
Gorgeous.
And this coat has a name. She's called Ginger,
You love it.
like Ginger from Casino. That's how the name came about. So I had Ginger on, and then I had jeans and trainers on. And a man came up and he went, "Hey, you look fancy. You going to a wedding?" And I was like, "No, we're just actually buying some chicken in the farm shop."
Oh, that's so funny. I love it. I love it. And then what do you wear to the wedding? I've been at a wedding where then I've been asked, "Are you a bridesmaid?"
Yeah.
Oops, I've overdone it. But yeah.
It is. I think it's, but also, I really don't like the idea that we only save our best clothes for going to somebody's wedding. Like, by all means, if I am going to your wedding, if I've been invited to your wedding, oh my God, the effort is being put in. Like, I am not showing up half-assed in some outfit. I am properly putting in the effort because it's your big day and I want it to be special. And I want you to look at your guests and go, oh, they really cared. They really cared about coming to my wedding, that they put all this effort in. I think it's really important. Whereas I think we then get lost in this idea that's the only occasion we should be getting dressed up for.
I agree. I agree.
Wear the best things all the time.
Yes, even to bed.
Yeah.
I've started really investing in the intimacy, lovely nighties with the little sort of lace around the bottom and the silk, and I just feel lovely in them. So why not?
Exactly. Find the things that make you feel fabulous and wear them all of the time.
Exactly.
Now, I think this question, you are probably quite sentimental about the pieces in your wardrobe. From the stories that you've said, it's tied to a memory, which I really love. But is it possible you're able to pick a most sentimental piece?
Do you know, I thought about this and I'm wearing this locket that my daughter gifted me with on my 50th birthday last year. And it's a picture of me and her in this.
Oh,
And it just was such a special, gorgeous gesture from her. But I can't take it off. It's so precious to me.
oh, I love that. I love that. And I think with a piece of jewelry like that, you're able to just wear it all the time with every outfit and it just never leaves you.
Exactly.
Now, what is the piece in your wardrobe that most sums you up?
Okay, one more dress here that I brought to share. So this is a sort of evening-y type dinner dress, and I love this because of the lace at the back, the colour, the fabric, and the femininity, and this little detail at the front. When I wear it, it's fitted and it's not too fussy, it's very elegant, and that detail at the back I feel is very sophisticated, and it's so soft and it's so feminine, but yet it's powerful and assertive at the same time. So I had fun rummaging through all my dresses and outfits, and you nearly got a long floral floaty dress, and then I thought, no, I'm much more about the sort of, this feels a bit statuesque almost. Do you like it?
I think it's beautiful, and what a great answer. What brand is it from?
This is, it's really old. This is Reese,
Oh,
actually.
I was going to guess at Reese.
Really?
I was going to say, is that Reese?
Yeah. Does that make me interesting or dull?
No, I think it's lovely. I'm a fan of Reese. I think in terms of classic, timeless, very elegant pieces, that is the go-to brand. It's just beautiful, but lovely quality, really great quality.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Good. I'm glad you approve.
Oh, I very much approve. I love their sample sale. Every time their sample sale's on, I go and I lose my mind and buy them.
Yes. Yeah, you have to be early.
Yeah,
you have
absolutely.
To be
You have to be early at the sample sale. You have to be willing to throw a few elbows and get right on in there, but it's totally worth it.
Totally agree.
Now, do you ever fall victim to a fashion faux pas or a wardrobe malfunction, and would you like to share?
Oh, well, I think as a young girl, finding my way into style, I knew that I liked heels. I'm only 5'2", and I used to wear them all the time. But I was teetering around Soho and London in these stiletto heels the whole time. And actually, I've really had to learn when it's appropriate to wear the stiletto heels and when not to. And I really spent most of my late teens and early 20s inappropriately wearing heels all the flipping time. And actually, I think I probably looked quite unsavory when I had my Camden Market knee-high black leather stiletto boots, and I was wearing these with shorts off to university for lectures, walking down the side of the road in Clapham. I'm not sure I actually looked like I was a student. I might have looked like I was doing some other kind of work in those moments. So I regret some of the inappropriate heel wearing.
And are you still quite a heels lover now? Are you still good in a heel?
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. Love, love, love. In fact, my favorite shoes, my heels, these are my favorite.
Ooh, love those.
I wear these as business shoes as well as going out shoes. So whenever I'm doing a keynote or I'm on stage, even with my pink suit, I'll wear these. And because they're a sort of muted gold, they go with my white trouser suit, they can go with our black one, they can go with my yellow dress, they can go with the lovely Reese dress we just looked at. They go with everything. So I wear heels all the time. I've got shoes in every color that look this shape.
I love it though. It's a really classic shape, a really nice silhouette, and like you say, just works with everything. But also, I think I'm quite similar to you in that I'm a heels lover, and I, in my kind of 20s, just constantly wore heels. I was always in ridiculous heels.
Oh,
And
good.
but I think it gave me a good foundation for now. Whereas I think friends of mine who only ever really wore heels on a night out, got drunk in them and had a disaster, now really avoid heels and they go, oh no, I just can't do a heel. I can't
Yeah.
do a heel. Whereas I'm like, no, 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 I can still do a ridiculous heel. I'm absolutely fine. I can walk in them.
Yeah.
I think it's the difference between whether you were a sporadic heel wearer or a dedicated heel wearer in your 20s.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. You're right. Yeah, exactly. Have you seen the new Sarah Blakely heels, the sneaks?
Yes, I have. Yes.
What do you think about them?
I think they're really interesting. I don't know if they're 100% for me, but I do think they're quite a cool concept if you're somebody who kind of wants to wear heels but wants that bit more comfort. And yeah,
Yeah, I don't know because they look like trainers. So I don't if we're wearing heels to be elegant and dainty, why would you want them to look like trainers? You know, that kind of
I think if
bulky.
you wanted that kind of like athleisure, that sports looks vibe, then I think they would go down that. But would I be pairing them with like a suit or one of my dresses? Probably not. But if I was doing some sort of cool look with like a more like silk jogger and do you know what I mean? Something where I wanted that
Mm,
sportier feel, then maybe I'd go
mm.
down that vibe. But I'm a real like Jimmy Choo Fendi kind of girl.
Gorgeous, gorgeous, wonderful taste,
And I
wonderful taste.
love a Cat McConey. Cat McConey for a little quirky number. I think Cat
Yeah,
McConey is just nailing.
lovely. Oh, I love your wardrobe.
Thank you. Is there a dream fashion item that you don't already own that you would love to have?
Well, actually, I was going to say a pair of those sneaks. I don't know whether it's dreamy, but I had a look. The adverts keep popping up on Instagram, and I had a look last night, and I thought, oh, I'll just get a pink pair and see if am I being a slow adopter? Should I become an early adopter? But then I looked at the price tag, and they're £467 a shoe, and that just made me wonder if no, that's not worth it. So yeah, so I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. So is there anything else that you would have? You can have it irrespective of cost, practicality, even time period availability. It's just dropped into your lap.
Oh, well, I'm freshly engaged.
Very
So
congratulations. Very
thank
nice.
you. Thank you. So I am about to start wedding dress shopping as an older woman. I'm 50 now, and so I think I'd love to look at some kind of Vera Wang, wowie. Oh no, would I? Actually, that's my princess child self talking. No, 'cause I really haven't thought about this yet. Something elegant and fitted and lacy, and I don't know. Something beautiful and princess-like but sophisticated.
Just the dream thing, and you might not know what that looks like yet, but when you find it, you'll know. Your gut instinct will tell you. So maybe that is the dream item, something that you don't know what exactly it looks like yet, but when you find it, you'll really know.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I'll have a lot of fun trying on lots of dresses again
Oh,
and see how that feels.
great fun. I think you'll have a brilliant time. To finish on, is there a piece of fashion advice that you would have given to your younger self?
To check how see-through those items are that you're teetering around Soho in with very high heels with your thong on, thinking no one can see through the dress. So look in the mirror from every angle and make sure that you're not really, really doing yourself a disservice. That would be my biggest advice.
I think we've all been there. We've all had that moment, and we've all been behind somebody, particularly on the underground in London, going up an escalator, and they've got leggings on in front of you, and you can see
Yes.
every detail of their underwear. And
Yeah.
I am so adamant of like squat testing anything like leggings, trousers, and like if I squat or bend in this, can you see my pants? But for me, the one that always gets me that I always forget about is the lighting here, it's not see-through, but the lighting elsewhere so might be see-through. And that's what's caught me out on numerous occasions. I've been to places and I'm like, somebody's taken a photo of me and I'm like, my dress was not see-through. How is it see-through in that picture? And the light
Oh,
has made it see-through.
no. Oh, no. Well, I had this memory just literally haunts me. I had this dress, I must have been 20, 21, and it was this beautiful, long fitted cream dress with just red roses on it. And it just looked elegant. I felt like this sophisticated 20-year-old. I naturally would wear it with these really high wedgie heels and just teeter around walking to wherever I was working at the time. And that dress, and I'd wear it with a little thong. And I just felt gorgeous. I really did feel lovely. And I was wearing it for weeks and weeks. And then someone said to me, you know, that is utterly, utterly see-through from the back. We can all see your pants. And I just looked in the mirror and I was like, oh my God, literally. It's like I've just been going out naked for weeks and weeks and weeks and riding around in my heels and that dress. So yeah, check the fabric. And I teach my daughter, check the fabric.
Oh, well, that is excellent advice. It's not a piece of advice we've been given previously on the podcast, and therefore I think it is top tier. Excellent work. Thank you so much for being a guest. I've loved chatting with you.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. It's such a brilliant, fun show. Thank you.
Well, I do hope you enjoyed that chat. If you did, please remember to recommend Off the Hanger to a friend.